Hey, what's up, BlogaFam? Welcome to our new segment called Tutorial Tuesdays. I'm your host for today, Gio Kawachi, and I'm really excited for our first guest today because we're going to talk about a topic that became a big thing during the quarantine or pandemic. It's a hobby na medyo siya nag-boom during the quarantine, and it's called I don't really know what it's called. I'm not gonna say it's planting, but a lot of people became a plantito and a plantita. Me included. No, I have actually for like what I think I have one, two, three, four. I have five plans right now, and I'm really excited to host this episode because we're going to learn how to take care of our indoor plants and what are the benefits of having a plant in our home. And for that, to talk about more about this hobby, I should say, we have our special guest for today, and our guest is none other than Miss KooKoo Macasaet. So let's welcome her here. Hi. Hi, Miss Cuckoo.
Hello. Hi,
How's it been?
everyone. Yeah, how are you? Thank you guys.
Um,
Thank you so much for inviting me to talk about plants.
yes. Oh, okay. Since I did in my introduction kanina, what's the right term regarding like taking care of plants? Is there a term for it? Because I don't think it's planting, because planting is a different thing, right? So like, I'm trying to think of a word for it, but hindi ako nakapag-isip. So how would you call this hobby? Or
And honestly, I think we just really call it plant parenthood.
Planned Parenthood? Wow, actually a great term, Planned Parenthood. So
Yeah.
would you consider is this called a hobby or more of like a passion project for for people?
It
How would you
started,
describe it?
I think it would start for some or for most, it starts as a hobby. But then when they finally get into like the zone na talaga of how they understand their plants, they switch it to becoming a passion project as well. Because I know a lot of people who started to just take care of one or two plants, and then eventually now they have their online shops of plants. So
Yes.
while they're having fun sa hobby nila,
Wow.
they're also earning, di ba? So, yeah, I think it's iba-iba naman. Like, for me, for example, it's just really a hobby kasi a lot of people have been telling me I started planting even before the pandemic. So, I started about 2 years ago. They always
Okay.
tell me to sell na or to sell cuttings and stuff like that. But I always say na I don't want because I'm not yet that confident to take care of plants na I will sell, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's just a hobby for me. So it really depends.
So with this hobby, how did you get started? You said you started 2 years ago, right? Even before the pandemic, because a lot of people nowadays, they actually just started during the quarantine, right? Doon sila
Right.
nag-start, syempre. How for you? How did you get started with this Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, kasi, 2 years ago, yeah, that was exactly 2 years ago, kasi around September, October, we finally bought our own house, me and my partner. So this is what we call our the bahay kubo, because it's kuku. So ever since we moved here, my partner kasi he likes plants talaga even before when we were in the apartment pa. He grows yung mga gulay-gulay na nasa
Oh, that's great.
small pots, yeah.
Yeah.
So siya talaga yung mahilig, and I couldn't understand yung enthusiasm niya before. And then when we finally have our own house, he invited me to visit a nursery to buy some plants for the house niya daw. Sabi ko, okay, let's go. So when I went there, hindi pa ako ganun ka-excited, or I didn't
Mhm.
feel like I was having fun. But I just, for the sake of it, I bought an aloe vera, one pot of aloe vera. And it started from there. Tapos ako na yung sobrang na-addict and nabaliw. And ako na yung pinipigilan niya ngayon. So we started like that. When you start, ano kasi, taking care of the plants, and then nakakatuwa siya pagka you see like just a leaf growing,
Yeah,
parang
actually, I agree with
builds
you.
your confidence na parang, I wanna try something else. Parang ganun siya. So
Yeah,
yeah, I started like that.
I so agree with you because like for me, just started in the quarantine, so I had this. I bought based from what I saw in the internet, snake plant was actually a good indoor.
Yeah.
So me and my tita, we went to. Bigla nagkwento yun. Anyway, this is gonna be like super quick kasi I just wanna make kwento dito. So we went to this plant shop na malapit sa amin. So I got the snake plant, but when I got there, parang sobrang daming plants na interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So this was my birthday month, which was June. So I end up buying I think five.
Oh,
And yeah, I end up buying five. And wala, for me kasi na-realize ko na parang okay, I never had like a plant ever since before. So tinry ko. I'm just so happy na buhay pa sila. So I'm like, okay.
right. sobrang
Yes.
overwhelming kasi when you go to a plant shop na meron ka lang isang goal, like, just parang, may corner sa house ko na gusto kong lagyan, one lang naman. Pero pag nagpunta ka kasi sa plant shop or sa nursery, hindi ka talaga uuwi ng one lang yung plant. Or sometimes,
That's true.
yung goal mo na plant na bibilihin, hindi yun ang mabibili mo. Kung ano-ano kasi you will see a lot of other kinds and interesting plants. Like,
Yeah. Agree with that. Now, especially now when we're talking about going to a plant shop, right? A lot of people are going to a plant shop and doesn't have any idea kung anong plant yung bibili na. Could you give us a little tip or a little advice on what plant you should get for maybe for their house? Like example, if they want to get something for their kitchen, tama ba? Nilagay mo yung kitchen, right? Dining area, sala, or di ba sometimes we even put in our bathrooms. So, do you have anything, any tips on which plant to pick for those type of environment or situation?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I started like that then kasi because my goal lang talaga is for the aesthetics when I started, So because we're building our house, we're starting to decorate it. So of course, the plants was always on Pinterest. Pag may kailangan din to, kailangan may content. It really started like that. So me as a beginner before, I just always Googled like top 10 plants, good indoor plants, good for the house, ganyan. 2 years ago, hindi pa siya ganun kauso yung indoor plants here in the Philippines. So most of the articles that I would see or YouTube videos are from US or some other parts of the world. So sobrang totally different. But then, yun yung sinusunod ko before. So ang lagi lang nakalagay doon, of course, pinafollow ko. Of course, snake plant is there. And then, nakalagay lang, snake plant. So snake plant is really good actually for bathrooms and for kitchens kasi yung malakas maka-emit ng mga odors, so, and it's really also good for the bedroom kasi meron siyang nire-release na certain, nakalimutan ko yung scientific term, but it really promotes good health and good sleep as well. Kaya yun yung mga top na good for kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. And then you would also see some na say that says peace lily is also perfect indoor kasi siya din yung mga nakaka-emit ng mga yung mga chemicals that we are getting from paints and
aircon. I think aircon.
And our cleaning supplies, all that. So really, but then again, yun nga sabi ko, all of those, mga top 10 na ganyan na mga from NASA, what do you call this? Yung articles from NASA na perfect to purify the air. It didn't really work for me. Sila yung mga not all of them naman. But for example, snake plant, yung very first gift that I received from a friend, housewarming gift, I asked for a snake plant. Kasi yun nga yung pinakamadali daw, very sturdy, and it's so easy nga, and you need it for your kitchen.
Low maintenance, right?
Yeah. Yes. So yun yung hinihingi ko sa friend ko who was asking me kung anong gift I wanted. He sent me 2 kinds. One is yung plain na color green, and then one is yung may yellow sa gilid.
I think all right.
So for example, may naging sa akin are big ones, okay? Yung pang mga corner. So, but this is what I was saying, yung plain green. Actually, this one is propagated from that mother plant na I have 2 na.
It's there.
So
it grew. Wait, by meaning of propagated, dun siya galing. Like, dun siya, I mean, lumaki siya from there. Sobrang cool.
Ako na yung nag-grow nito. Galing na siya doon, yeah. So, anyway, I will talk about that later siguro, the propagation. But what I'm trying to say is that, sabi lang doon, snake plant. But, yung, based on my experience, yung green na ganito, siya yung nagtatagal indoor. Pero yung may yellow, died. Kahit gaano kaliwanag, kahit katabi na niya yung window.
Wait, can you see that plant right there, ma'am? I think that's a snake plant na may yellow eh.
I can't see.
Okay, let me get it. Wala na, natutuwa lang ako. So, let's talk about it.
Go get it. Ayan. Yeah. That's the one na may yellow. So, medyo delicate.
Okay, so we're sharing our plants. Yeah, so this is the yellow plant, like you're talking about.
Medyo mas maarte siya than the green one.
Oh, okay. Kaya pala, okay.
So, yan, actually, yung yung ganyan ko na parang nung pinadala sa akin was 10 leaves, parang naging 2 na lang. But then, nilabas ko, outdoor. Ngayon, grabe, parang 20 na siya. Sobrang laki na niya, ganyan. It likes it outdoor. But then, yung plain green ko, nakasabayan niya na dumating 2 years ago. Sobrang okay pa rin siya. And then, it's not like growing wild and
Yeah.
fast, but it's still fine. Tapos, ayan, may 2 babies na.
I know, cute.
So, yan, mga galing po sa kanya. But ito yung green, ito yung super dali talaga. So, if
So you would recommend this for like starter Plantito, Plantita?
Yes.
Okay.
Tapos another, so snake plant ha, if you
Yes.
want something na nag-purify ng air and at the same time super easy. And this is also one thing na another like ko narinig kaya namamatay kasi sobrang later na lang yun pala. Meron nasa next topic naman. But anyway,
Okay.
isa din kaya din siya sobrang ganda. If you're busy, you need to only water it at least once every 2 weeks, mga ganyan. Kasi
Talaga. Ang snake plant is like that lang. Oh my God. So I'm doing it wrong. Okay, we'll talk about that later pala regarding the overwatering and underwatering of
so wag
plants.
masyado, if it's indoor especially, once every 2 weeks lang talaga. But if it's outdoor, once a week lang. May mga nababasa pa nga ako, pero sa ibang bansa na ata yun na once a month. Kasi dito naman sa atin, it's very hot talaga. Kaya
Yes.
yung nag-work for me is once every 2 weeks yung mga indoor, tas outdoor is once a week. Tapos, so yeah, that snake plant is number 1 talaga on my list. And actually, nalilito ako yung number 1. Pero this one is the Pothos. ito na lang yung ko. Number 2 si snake plant. But this is my number 1, Pothos. Ito yung super
Is that the one yung parang hinahang nila?
Yeah, ayan.
Okay. Like, okay. I forgot the term, pero di ba yun yung ginagamit for the interior design for like the hanging plants and stuff?
Yung mga, like if you want to put it on the shelf, yan, sobrang ganda
Yes.
niya. This is
Pothos.
legit. Hindi mo talaga ito kasi kagaya sa snake plant, super easy. But pag na-overwater mo, you can still kill it. But this one, ma-overwater mo man or underwater, this one talaga will not die. So ito talaga yung pinakamadali.
So masamang damo siya, parang ganun. Matagal mamatay.
Hard talaga siya, yan o, ganyan. But again, for example, this is outdoor in the direct sun. Kaya ganyan siya ka-wild. Ito yung pinaka-mother plant. Kaya ganyan siya ka-wild. Pero, like I have one na indoor, ganyan lang siya ka-mini. Tapos pag cute-cute lang, hindi siya lalaki.
Yes. Pang ano lang siya. At least for yung mga shelves nga, like that.
So it's really up to you. But yeah, if I would suggest, if you need 2 plants na for beginners, this is a golden Pothos ha. So there's a lot of Pothos. Hindi ka muna pwedeng mag-explore sa mga other kinds of Pothos.
So I think the golden Pothos is basically parang basic pack. I mean, the basic plant that you could get na medyo madali pa siya for our viewers to actually alagaan.
Super pretty. Pag makita mo to, ma-engganyo
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, but this is also, this is called the silver satin Pothos. So medyo mas mahirap siya ng konti compared to the golden. So
The golden one.
I would always suggest golden for the beginners and snake plant. But if you want something na big agad, kasi ang dami ko din kilala na yan nga, yung mga gusto agad yung mga puno type.
Yes. Especially yung mga, what I noticed lang, yung mga taong nag-start recently during the quarantine, parang natutuwa sila with the big plants. And I think one of the difficulties na nagkakaroon naman sila is pag sobrang laki, hindi nila alam kung saan ilalagay agad, right? So
that's why sobrang mahal pa the big ones. So kung nag-start ka pa lang tapos mag-invest ka agad sa big ones. So kung gusto mo agad ng big talaga and newbie ka pa lang, I would suggest the fortune plant. Di ko na siya nadala dito kasi malaki siya. But fortune plant, yun, sobrang easy din. Parang once a month lang din kailangan diligan. And it's so pretty. It's lucky. It's called a lucky plant pa sa Chinese Feng Shui. So it's really nice.
Is that the same with the money plant na sinasabi nila?
No, different na siya. Yung money plant, money tree yung tawag. Parang may lima.
Yeah, the money tree pala, sorry.
So, iba pa yon. Yung fortune plant, parang siyang bamboo na mataba yung...
Oh my God, wait lang. I think I have that. Can I check the fortune plant? I don't know. This is the one. This is the fortune plant.
This is a lucky bamboo. Different pa yan.
Did I get that right? That was the fortune plant?
No, this is a lucky bamboo.
Oh, Lucky Bamboo.
Oh, so different pa. Pero kapatid niya yan. Yeah. Pero super nice yan. This one, dapat, ayan yung mga ayaw na ayaw niya ng ginagalaw. So
Oh,
you put,
talaga? Oh my God. Oh my
you put,
God. Oh my
put
God.
it,
Tuwa pa naman ako pag pinaplant ko siya. Pag winawater ko siya. Okay, we'll talk about my mistakes later. So, ito, for this plant, sorry. For this plant, dapat like, leave him alone.
yeah,
Parang gano'n.
put it in a place na low traffic. Ganun yung peg niya.
Oh
Yung,
my God. Oh, sige.
ayaw mo na pinapansin. Introvert yan.
Okay, okay. Wow, I'm learning something new. Like, I'm literally learning something new. Okay, sige.
Oo,
Okay.
basta, so yeah, if you're looking for a puno or big type talaga, don't go agad sa mga travelers, Palm, Fiddle, Monstera. Yan yung mga mahal na sobrang gaganda na nasa Pinterest. But guys, trust me, ang dami ko na yung friends na hindi nakanagsakan, tigas ng ulo because they really want it. Kasi it's really beautiful. Like sa tabi
Yeah.
ng mirror, like full-length mirror, tapos katabi ganyan. Tapos yun,
So
after
Instagrammable. I think one of the things kaya naengganyo yung mga people na maging Plantita or Plantita, it's very Instagrammable eh. So I think that's one of the reasons kaya sila nag-try maging plant parent.
Exactly. So, going back to the question kanina na, like, how do you pick or start picking a plant if when you're a beginner? So, nagbigay lang ako ng examples, but take into consideration always your space. So, it's not, ang common mistakes din kasi is we like the plant because it would look nice on a certain spot of the house and we expect the plant to adjust.
Yes.
Yeah, pero it's not like that. It's the other way around. We have to know if itong spot na to, when you have that spot na you want to put a plant, you research what plant will survive in that area. Yeah. It's not that, ay maganda dito to kasi bagay yung itsura. It's not like that. So always take into consideration your space, kung katabi ba siya ng window, how many inches it is away from the window or from the light source, and also yung time mo. So, if ikaw yung tipong sobrang busy, then go for plants na like the snake plant na hindi kailangan palaging diligan. But if you want to be, yung ikaw yung laging nasa house lang and you feel like gusto mo lang mag-planting every day, so go for plants na yung mga leafy plants like the pothos na hindi sila malulunod when you overwater. Parang ganun.
Yes, that's a good point. Kasi especially as a beginner, madaming, like me, personally, I'm a beginner, madaming mistakes na nagagawa, madaming kami mistakes na nakocommit. So, what are the often mistakes that you see and how could we actually, parang maayos yun? Like for me, overwatering, how would you know if the plant is overwater or underwater?
Yeah, alam mo, ako, don't worry kasi hindi ako mag-judge because sabi ko nga, 2 years na ako nagpa-plants. Now I have probably 90 or 100 plus plants.
Wow, ang dami na.
But
so nice.
mga 150 na yung napatay ko. So I was also a beginner once, and sobrang yung number one mistake talaga na I see a lot na I also did. Number one, of course, sinabi ko nga kanina na we are all for aesthetics kasi nga Instagram ganyan. So yun yung number one mistake na nakikita ko. People are just going for something they saw on Pinterest or ang gandang tignan nung na-browse nila sa random Instagram shop. But yeah, that's the number one mistake kasi hindi ka na nag-research kung madali ba tong plant na to, kung
Yes.
But ang hinahabol mo lang, maganda siya. So yun yung number one common mistake that I see, and I was also like that. Number two is that tawag dito, we care so much kasi nga excited tayo eh, and we are new. This is a new hobby.
Yeah.
Everyday kakalikutin mo, everyday titignan mo, everyday.
Yes, tignan mo kung may nag-grow ba or something.
Yes, ganyan. So,
Nakausap mo siya, ewan ko kung wala gumagawa nun or baka may iba rin. Hopefully hindi lang ako kasi feeling ko mababaliw ako pag ako lang pala. Yeah, but yeah.
Ganun talaga. Like, it's a really common mistake. Masyado tayong mapagmahal sa mga plants natin. And you know what, na parang this pandemic, I had another hobby of essential oils and all. Nung naging sobrang busy ako doon, hindi ako masyadong nagka-time sa plants, doon sila lahat nag-thrive, doon sila lahat naging, doon talaga. So then I really realized na if the more na you give them space and then just let them be. Huwag tayo masyadong
parang tao lang, no? Give them some time, give them space, and let them grow on their own. Yeah.
I know. So, if ganon, mas gusto nila. So, yun yung common mistake. Kaya nagkaka-overwatering kasi masyado tayong mapagmahal. We feel like, we feel like pag the more we dilig, the more we love them. But it's not like that,
Yes.
diba? So, ayun yung second common mistake. And third, na like ko din nakikita, is connected to the first one, which is more on the aesthetics side. We love to repot. Kasi when you buy it from a nursery, nasa plastic lang siya na ganyan or pangit
Yes.
pot. And then excited ka pag uwi mo kasi may maganda kang pot from H&M Home. I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
Hindi ako namumuna ng mga pot sa H&M Home or SM Home. And then pag uwi ko, yan, repot, ganyan.
Repot.
Yan. That's very, very wrong because sabi, you have to allow the plant to adjust muna. Una, nag-travel siya. Pangalawa, bago yung environment niya. So, wag mo muna siyang bulabugin doon. Yung leave it there muna sa plastic pot niya, nursery pot niya, or whatever it is na pinaglalagyan niya pag inuwi mo. And mga next week pa or after 2 weeks mo siya i-repot. But if you cannot stand yung kapangitan
the pot.
niya,
Yes. Yeah, kasi diba, they normally come with an orange pot sometimes.
Yeah, oo.
Yan yung orange pot na.
Diba, ganyan siya.
Kaya maganda pa nga yan, kasi black at least.
Actually, na-repot ko na to.
Okay.
So, just put it in a basket. Ayan yung pinakamalaki kong ano. Or
I think I also have that plant. I think, wait lang.
Ano yun, ma?
Yeah, mag-show rin ako. Show and tell pala to.
Ayan!
It's the same, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so lumalabas yung pagka-plantito ko.
Oo, yan. Madali yan. Super easy din yan. So,
wait, sorry. I have a question. Speaking of this plant. Super easy dito, so dapat di ko siya didiligan. Oh my God. Sorry. Sorry.
Pero, mga once a week yan pwede.
Once a week? Oh my God, sobrang mali mga ginagawa ko sa buhay ko.
Oo, pero super easy yan. Madali yan siya. Tsaka okay sa kanya yung medyo dark area. Okay sa kanya yung hindi masyado naaarawan. Ganun. So, yeah, easy. Ito yung pot ko.
That's so cute.
So, if you have something na hindi mo ma-stand yung itsura, then just put it in a cover pot. Or yung pot mo maganda, edi pasok mo lang muna doon. Or, yan, mga cover pots. Yeah. The cover pots, walang butas. So, sobrang shoot mo lang na shoot doon. Wag mo na agad repot. Kasi you know what happened to me? Now, I have mga 50 beautiful pots here na extra. Kasi mga plants na nasa kanila, patayin. Because yun nga, yun yung sakit ko before. I kept buying nice Instagrammable pots and all that. And then,
in terms of I have a question. In terms of repotting, right? Is there a specific size for a plant na parang how would you know if the pot is good for the plant?
Actually, so yung plant mo, kung ganun sa size mo, kunwari for this one, kung ganitong size mo siya nakuha, this is about 4 inches ata na pot. Okay. So, if kailangan na nitong i-repot, it means may lumalabas na dyan sa ilalim ng mga ugat-ugat niya. So, that's that's a sign na it needs a repotting. Tapos, if you're gonna repot, just repot one size bigger. Don't go yung bonggang malaki agad.
Okay.
Tapos, for example, this one. Kakarepot ko lang nito 2 days ago. This one is a philodendron moonshine ba to? Or hope? Yeah,
that's a cool plant.
Yeah, super. Ito, kagaya nito. Ang daming tumutubo in the middle. Pero ganyan lang kaliliit na lang yung tumutubo. So, it means wala na siya nakuha ng nutrients. Parang sunod-sunod sila. Ang liliit na lang nang lumalabas. Ganito dapat, diba? So, it means...
So, pag ganyan, ano yung parang, what do you need to do for that?
Kulang na sa nutrients. That's why it needs more sustansya. So,
more sunlight.
Yeah. No, more soil, more fertilizer.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I decided to repot it and add more soil and fertilizers. And yan. 2 days ago lang, may tumubo na agad. It looks like it's gonna be big. Kasi yan.
Diba? So, di ba nakakaaliw pag may tumutubo? Like, parang wow. It's so fun. It's so fun.
May bago kaming term sa plant community, usbonging and suloying.
Usbonging. What's the other one? Suloying. Suloy, what's that mean?
Suloy kasi is yung lumalabas pa lang na patubo.
Oh, okay. Usbongin din yung...
The
Yes.
suloy
Okay.
is usbonging or
Uy,
suloying already.
hopefully, mga plants ko mag-usbongin din lahat sila.
Oo, usbonging. It will go usbonging. Yan, ganyan.
All right. So, what are the benefits aside from what do you call this? Air purification. What do you think are the other benefits of having a plant in our home?
Yeah, syempre first of all, yun nga sabi ko, kaya din ako nag-decide to put indoor plants is because of purifying the air.
Yes.
Yun naman talaga yung main reason ko before, apart from it being Instagrammable. And then, I realized na it really helps, especially nowadays. I would talk about nowadays na lang na we're having a pandemic.
Yes.
We're all stuck at home and maraming nawala ng work, mga other instances. It really helps sa stress and anxiety. Like,
Yes, I agree with you on that one.
whenever I feel really stressed or like parang overwhelmed, iwan ko lang yung mga cellphone, laptop, tabi ko muna dyan, and I will just go planting outside and kalikot lang ng mga plants and all.
Say hello.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, say hello.
You will feel na parang 2 hours na pala yung nakalipas na namin ko nagawa, but I felt like really light and relaxed while doing. So it really helps sa atin for our emotions, for our anxiety. Bukod sa it's really helpful to put it inside your home. You build your own ecosystem kasi masyado nang polluted sa labas, diba?
Yes.
So yeah, it's really a good hobby for all of us right now na nakakulong sa bahay, diba?
Yeah. Now, speaking of hobby, now a lot of people nowadays they're turning it into a small business. Then, now, would you recommend it? Na i-turn din nila into a small business this hobby? And if so, like, what are your tips on turning this or monetizing this hobby?
Yeah, parang last week lang I was also invited sa Glorieta the first plant community gathering sa what do you call this? Sa activity center ng Glorieta.
May ganun pala siya. Right.
I know, grabe, kakagulat nga namin na pala talaga. Tuwang-tuwa ako kasi before ko sagutin. When I started, I kept Googling nga and YouTubing yung mga about plants dito sa Pilipinas kasi puro mga foreigner nga yung mga nakikita ko and all. Wala talaga ako mahanap at all. Wala talaga. Nag-iisip ko ngayon, wala talaga. So, doon lang ako na umaasa sa mga videos that I see sa mga YouTubers sa US na Plantarina, si Crazy Plant Guy. Sila talaga yung mga favorite ko. And then because I also have a YouTube vlog nga, when a lot of people tell me to vlog about my plants, kasi nga lagi ko sino-story.
Yes.
Like, sabi ko, parang hindi papatok kasi wala nga eh. Kasi syempre, as a YouTuber, parang you're gonna check muna ano ba yung uso ngayon.
What are the contents on
content, right? Wala talaga. Sabi ko, baka lalangawin lang to. So, ang tagal before I made my first plant video, and which is true, nilangaw nga siya before. But then nung nagka-COVID, my God, talagang nag-boom talaga. And then, I even made last year, magto 2 years na din, along with this house, I made a separate Instagram account which is Bahay Kubo nga, for my and my home decorating things. Kasi parang baka naiinis na yung mga tao sa followers ko. Personal, puro plants, mga suloy-suloy yung pinipicturan ko, diba? So, it's really amazing nung nagkaroon ng first plant gathering na surprise talaga ako na there's like a lot of people a lot of plant parents. There's really a community already.
A community behind it.
Sobrang fun. Pero anyway, naligaw ako. But
the question is, a lot of people are trying to monetize or creating this into a hobby. So any tips on how to do it? Or
tinanong nga yan sa akin that time. Sabi ko din, you know what? You don't just randomly sell plants because you want to make a profit out of it, diba? Kasi I don't think magsasucceed ka kasi sobrang dami ng gumagawa niyan. And you will succeed if you really love the plants, if you're passionate about it, and then susunod na lang na alam mo yun, kasi it's really hard. It's really hard to sell plants. First of all, you have to source really nice plants sa mga nurseries. You have to source it na makahanap ka ng mura kasi sobrang spiked up na talaga yung prices
Yes.
nowadays. You have to
It
source.
is actually, it's very,
Sobrang
pag nag-search ako parang, wow, mataas
Yeah,
masyado.
sobrang ako na-shock sa mga presyuhan na nowadays. But anyway, the sourcing is really not easy for the price and then the quality of the plants and then yung roots kailangan mo pa titignan if it's established or not. So it's really you really have to work hard for it. So if gusto mo lang pagkakitaan, maiinis ka kapag kunwari
Yes.
you will encounter like this may mga customers na they will buy a plant and then after a week it died, ikaw sisisihin.
Oh,
Why?
yeah. That's a good scenario.
You don't know naman kung talagang... So first of all, kung confident ka na you check the plant from the nursery, kung established ba yung roots or everything, and then pwede mo ipaglaban. But kung ikaw mismo, hindi ka confident, shocks, hindi ko nga na-check yata, di ba? So ang hirap, di ba? That's why, may inis ka na pag may mga scenarios like that if talagang ang habol mo is profit lang. But if it's really, like you're really passionate about planting or talagang love mo, feeling mo Mother Earth talaga yung peg.
Yes.
Diba? Na kahit tatlo lang yung benta mo in a week sa beginning, kasi malaki na talaga yung plant community. Yung iba nag-source from other countries. Yung mga nakasama ko dun sa weekend gathering nga, they source their plants from Holland, from Thailand, mga ganyang level. That's why it's really
Importation
hard.
na talaga sila, no? Yeah.
So, you just go ahead and do this if feeling mo talagang sobrang ito talaga yung calling mo and passionate ka about it. Not just because you want to make extra money or not just because trip mo lang kasi uso ngayon, maraming kakagat, hindi na siya ganun. You know what I mean? Parang ganun.
Yes. All right. Well, that was very insightful, Miss KooKoo. And then, can you give us any last words or like few words of advice to our hopefully yung mga nagiging hopeful maging Plantito and Plantita na viewers natin?
Yeah. I just want to thank you guys for starting your plant journey and exploring this side of the world now that you have extra time. But I just want to say na it's not that easy. It's not basta-basta lang na I want to buy this plant and leave it there. It's parang it's pets also, di ba? They have life. So, and also I am asking for you guys to be more patient with them kasi ako hindi naman dumami ng plants ko ng ganito ng basta-basta lang. I really killed a lot of plants and akala ko totoo naman yung sinasabi. There's really no such thing as green thumb. But pwede mo talaga siyang aralin. Pwede mo siyang intindihan. It's just like really a dog or a cat na kailangan mo intindihin yung kailangan nila, yung needs nila. So you really have to love your plants. And sana lang, for my last words for this video, I want to tell everybody who will start na sana when COVID stops or the pandemic stops and we go back to normal, you still take care of your plants. Don't forget about them. Kung travel na kayo, back to office work, you still have the responsibility for your plants. Wag ngayon lang na dahil nasa house lang kayo. Yan. So, it's not easy, but it's really fun and it's really good good hobby to start to do.
That's a great advice. So yes, viewers, reminder lang, di ba? Hindi lang porket boring kayo, ngayon, bored kayo, saka lang siya gagawin. So even after this, hopefully they just continue with it, di ba? Right. So thank you so much, Miss KooKoo. Where can the BlogaFam find you or follow you and see more of you?
Thank you also. You can follow my personal account. It's at ZFIPM. That's my arte account lang. For mga selfie and all. But if you're more interested on my plants and my home, you can find me at Instagram, bahay_kubo. Koo is KOO, Bahay Kubo. And on YouTube, KooKoo Vlogs. Ayun.
All right. So thank you so much for giving time to us, and it was very insightful. Madami ako natutunan, especially actually later mag-ask pa ako ng konting questions. But yeah, I learned a lot, especially with plants. Oh my God, ngayon na medyo nahihiya ako kasi I'll be honest, I'm actually watering my plants like every 2 or 3 days. So so hindi well, to think nabubuhay sila. So ako parang, wow, medyo shocking. Shocking news sa akin at least once a week lang pala. So
Yeah.
it's very insightful. Thank you so much, Miss Kuku. And I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers, our BlogaFam, learned a lot in terms of Planned Parenthood today. So
Thank
there you
you.
have it, guys. All right, so there you have it, guys. My name is Gio Kawachi, and I'll see you again next time for another Tutorial Tuesdays. Bye, guys. See ya.